The audio you're about to hear was recorded in Anchor. Learn more at anchor.fm.
You're listening to Pretty Dece, the bite-sized audio blog about games, comics, movies, and more, featuring news, reviews, opinions, and impressions. So if you're a geek, we hope you think it's Pretty Dece. What's up, everyone? It is April 1st, and this is Pretty Dece. I'm your host, Josh. Today I'd like to talk about the Destiny 2 worldwide reveal trailer. Just came out this week. Destiny is a game, I've got a little bit of a history with. I played through the original Destiny's storyline. I didn't do any of the in-game stuff, didn't do any of the questing, but I did play through the story, way back when it first came out, back when Peter Dinklage was the ghost in the game. They since ripped him out and replaced him, and that was mainly so they could build on to the game, kind of tack on expansions, still have that ghost character be in those because they couldn't get Dinklage back. Turns out he became kind of a big star. Anyway, so I played Destiny when it first came out. I recently picked it back up again to kind of dabble in. I've got some friends who are very into Destiny, so kind of just to play with them and sort of check in on Destiny and kind of see where it had gone, in the, year and a half or so since I had played it the first time. For me, I think the biggest thing with Destiny that they need to solve in Destiny 2 is that they need to decide if Destiny is a multiplayer shooter or if it's an MMO. And either answer is fine. They just need to pick one. They need to give the game an identity. For me, the first game really fell into a worst of both worlds type situation. It wasn't MMO enough. It didn't have a lot of the niceties that a full-fledged MMO would have. The world didn't feel as full and vibrant as an actual MMO. When you did encounter someone in the world, they were just kind of instancing them in, pulling them back out at random. You couldn't interact with those people. You couldn't type messages to them. At most, you could emote at them. The raids, while seemingly cool in Destiny, I haven't played them myself, they're certainly not at the scale that an actual MMO would be. And on the multiplayer shooter side, while yes, it is Bungie making this game, and the actual act of shooting the weapons in the game feels very, very good, as they are, experts at doing, hopping into multiplayer matches was too cumbersome in Destiny. In a lot of the modes, your amount of time you'd progressed in the game made you better at the multiplayer because you had better gear, you had better weapons, which is kind of a bummer. And even in the modes where they sort of equal that stuff out for you, you're still carrying in a gun that doesn't have all the awesome sights and features and stuff that the other people do. So even if your gun is technically dealing as much damage, you don't quite have the leg up that the other people would have if you haven't put the time into the game. So it kind of does suffer from that middle of the ground trying to do both things. And in Destiny 2, I hope that's something that they strive to fix. I hope that they either do a better job of serving both worlds or take it in one direction or the other. Make me more MMO or make me more multiplayer shooter. Personally, I'm not looking for an MMO. I'd rather they go back into that Halo style, arena combat, setting up really cool combat scenarios. That's why I played through the Destiny story, was because I was looking for that Halo style fix, and it gave me that. I really enjoyed my time with Destiny when I was playing it, even though I didn't get into any of that endgame stuff. And I do really enjoy Halo multiplayer, or have in the past, so I would dabble with that as well. I would definitely be into doing that again, if they made it kind of up to snuff in their Halo 2, Halo 3 days. That's why I come to Bungie games. Moving on into this actual trailer, the content of this actual trailer, it's very weird. I think the tone is very weird in this trailer. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, come back, and tell me that it's not very strange, the tone that they try to strike with humor in this trailer. Destiny has not been without humor in the past, so the character in this trailer that is the source of all of the laughs, Cade 6, he's the Titan Vanguard. he's in the game. He makes quips. He's voiced by Nathan Fillion, who is a fantastic actor. And in this trailer, Nathan Fillion is very funny. I just think it's very weird and doesn't quite fit with Destiny. Destiny as a whole, the first game, wanted to be this super serious space opera, and now they're tacking on this kind of jokey, hey, we're just playing a loot shooter, Borderlands-esque thing to it. It seems weird that this is the first foot that they put forward. I know Destiny 1 definitely had some trailers that were tonally very different than the game itself. You know, they had that one trailer where they were playing like classic rock music and stuff, and it didn't quite fit. And then this might be the case here too, that the trailer itself doesn't exactly mesh with the content of the actual game, but it certainly is a huge direction change. You know, they actually make the joke at the end, you know, he gives this not very rousing speech about you're all misfits, you're probably all gonna die, blah blah blah, and then like he doesn't get a cheer, and then he says, but there'll be loot, and then everyone cheers. I think that's a really weird direction. It's very Borderlands. It's not very Destiny. But again, I thought it was very funny, taken outside of a Destiny context. I thought it was very well done, and Nathan Fillion kind of knocked it out of the park. It's just weird to see Bungie kind of head in this direction. The other interesting thing about this trailer, and, you know, one of the big bummers for a lot of people with Destiny, is that they are not carrying over your loot. It is a, quote, fresh start. So none of your equipment, none of your armor, none of your unlocks from the first game will carry over into Destiny 2. Womp, womp, womp. Yeah. Even though they had a big talk about, you know, Destiny being this big 10-year plan, and it seemed as if Destiny would be this platform that you would continually grow in, we're back to regular video games where there are sequels and you don't get any of your stuff again. And they've actually created a storyline justification for why this loot doesn't carry over. Because, hey, the city was destroyed that had all the loot in it, so you gotta go find more, I guess. You know, I understand why they're doing that from a development standpoint. That makes it easier, right? You don't have to figure out how to deal with players that are starting Destiny 2 and never played Destiny 1, and how you balance those people with the people who put in 1,000 hours into Destiny 1 and have all of the top level raid gear. That is kind of an impossible to solve problem, so they just decided not to solve it. I get why you make that choice. I think that is a real bummer of a choice for most of the audience. You know, give them some way to carry their gear over. Even if like in the weird case, you decide that when you carry over the gear, then from that point on, everything else is just better. Like if let's say we have an equal level of all of our gear, the best gear from Destiny 2 we'll say is an 8. And then from Destiny 1 is an 8. And then Destiny 2 you start, you know, okay, the first gear you find is an 8, and then we go up from there in terms of numbers, in terms of balance. At least that would be fine. Like, let me just like see my character again in my same outfit, and then let me start finding new stuff. But no, instead it's a completely fresh start. So that means for new people, Destiny 2 is going to be friendlier, but that does mean for people that put thousands of hours into Destiny 1, you're not going to get to see any of your gear again unless you log into the old game. So it is what it is. I will say I am kind of excited to hop into Destiny again. I really hope that they address the issues from the first game, and I hope it's cool. I hope the story is better this time around, because Bungie's made some of my favorite games of all time in the Halo series, and I know that they have that in them again. So I really, really hope that this game lives up to expectations and turns out to be pretty decent. Thank you for listening to Pretty Dece today. If you liked the show, you want to hear more of it every single day, please favorite the show in Anchor. When you do, you will hear us first every single day on the app when you open Anchor. We would love if you did that and you joined us every single day on this fun little journey. If you would like to keep up with the show every single day as well on Facebook, you can do that. Facebook.com/PrettyDeceShow. Please give us a like over there on Facebook. Again, Facebook.